How not to watch porn this weekend. I'm Dr. Trish Leigh. Let me tell you how. In this video, first we're going to talk about number 1, why not to watch porn this weekend. Number 2, what will happen to your brain if you can leave the screen behind. And number 3, how you're going to do it. So let's dig in. Number 1, why are you going to leave porn behind this weekend? Let me tell you, in the States, it's Memorial Day weekend, which means it's a long weekend for most people. The perfect opportunity to pattern interrupt that negative feedback loop that you have been stuck in for so long. It's going to give you 3 full days to break that pattern and to begin to establish a positive feedback loop for long-term change. Now, let me remind you what the feedback loops are. Negative feedback loop, it's your proverbial downward spiral. So you get triggered, you're feeling stressed, you have a ton of time on your hands this weekend, you're bored. I'll watch some porn. It will make me feel better because of the dopamine flood that I get in my brain. But because you get the dopamine flood in your brain, then when you go back to your life and your kids want to play cornhole, you can't because it doesn't produce enough dopamine. Negative feedback loop. Because now you got to go watch more porn to get more dopamine to feel okay with trying to go back into the world. And it gets worse and worse and worse. What we're going to do is we're going to pattern interrupt that feedback loop and create an awesome upward spiral. So this is how it works. You don't watch porn even though you're feeling triggered, and you find a healthy way to offset the stress or the boredom of the weekend. And you get dopamine, albeit in lower levels when you get started. You get dopamine from healthy activities like playing pickleball with your family. I know what you're thinking. Why am I bringing up all these weird pseudo sports? Because they're hot, at least in North Carolina these days. Then you are able to have family time, and you're able to tell yourself, I'm the guy who hangs out with their family on Memorial Day weekend. That begins to create dignity and integrity for the upward spiral of the positive feedback loop that makes you stronger, being able to resist the urges next time because you're acting as the person that you want to become. And 3 days is better than 2 days when we're interrupting that pattern. Now, I have a caveat. There's never a good time to struggle or suffer. And you may struggle with some withdrawal symptoms when your brain wants that massive release of dopamine and you don't give it that release. So, you know what? There's never a good time to do this if you are going to have some of those feelings or some of those experiences. But it's never a good time to lose your job because you keep watching porn at work. It's never a good time for a divorce. And we know that porn consumption leads to 2 times the amount of breakups or divorces. It's never a good time for your children not to talk to you anymore because the dynamics have been destroyed. So let's just take the weekend to break that pattern so we don't have to deal with that stuff in the future. That's the why. The why is because today's the day to start, and I know you can do it. I know it might be hard, but I also know that it's not impossible and that you can do it if you're 100% committed, because on the opposite side of this weekend, you are going to feel like a rock star if you're able to do it. Okay, so 2, what's that going to do to your brain? What it's going to do is it's going to start pulling those extremes down. The too much fast speed, the too much slow speed, they will decrease. And the calm focus in the middle is going to increase. Your brain will recalibrate itself back to homeostasis. It'll go back to that norm of the optimal brain pattern, coming out of that new norm that you've created through porn consumption. That is what is going to happen. It's going to unwire itself. And if you can engage in some dopamine producing activities, you're going to simultaneously rewire it in the right direction. And you are going to begin to feel and perform better. You're going to get stronger in this journey, and you're going to be able to leave the habit behind. Okay, number 3, how are you going to do that? You're going to do it by exactly what I just said. You are going to, on Thursday night, you are going to flexibly schedule your weekend with dopamine producing activities. Now, this is what you're going to do. You're going to fill your weekend with primarily, number 1, brain boosting activities, things that make you feel good and help you connect to other people in the world, connect to your purpose, connect to your hobbies and your interests. Connection. So you're going to get on purpose and you're going to set the intentions of how you're going to do that through brain boosting activities this weekend. You also are, number 2, going to include brain recovery activities this weekend. So you're going to give yourself enough time to rest. Take a power nap, take a little snooze, take a chill on your back porch. Just relax, take a walk in nature. Recovery. What you're also going to do is, number 3, stay out of brain draining activities. So, number 1, pornography, very brain draining. You're going to stay away. Number 2, stressy relationships. If anybody tries to argue with you, you are not taking the bait. You are going to stay in the chill zone. You're going to avoid anything stressful, anything overwhelming. You're going to let your nervous system recover this weekend so we can pattern interrupt. Flexibly schedule it. Do not leave big holes in your schedule. This is very important. Make sure you schedule something healthy in the time frames when you would normally watch pornography. We know most people have a ritual. Put a new ritual in place this weekend. Make sure it involves connection and not isolation, and make sure you're trying to get as much dopamine as you can. Okay, so I have a new podcast, Porn Brain Reboot. Check it out. I'm going to record a podcast episode right now where I flesh out the ideas of things that you can do this weekend even more. So if you want to join me over there, it's at the new website that I just created, pornbrainreboot.org. Our nonprofit organization is moving forward, and the website with the programs is live. I would love for you to go check that website out. And the podcast is listed there under the podcast webpage. So you can access that episode right there. And it's going to have specific ideas for you beyond cornhole and pickleball. So jump on over, and then if you are looking for help in this journey, you can go to that new website, pornbrainreboot.org. It has all the information that you need, and the programs are listed there for you too. And as always, remember, control your brain or it'll control you.